hidden treasures of the 119th Psalm. So we are going on a treasure hunt, and the gold we are seeking in this treasure hunt is actually the face of God, pure light. So join us taking this deep dive mining with King David in the 119th Psalm. Once again, I'm so grateful for you joining me in this dig this morning as we get to land on the 7th verse. And you know, 7 is a hugely significant number to the Jews. And so are you terribly shocked that King David here hits the praise when it comes to the 7th verse? And so, you know, the 7th, and he's building, and I love the way he builds to this particular verse. You know, after he's loved God with all his heart and with all his soul and all his all, you know, and then he's, you know, attempting to see his holiness, and he's dropped the pose, and he's no longer wearing the mask, and now he wants to praise, but he wants to do it in the right way. And so it says, I will praise thee with upright heart when I have learned thy righteous judgments. So you can see it's all about doing things right here in this particular verse. And, you know, the word praise here is the word yada, which the root of that is your hands, right? Yad is hand in Hebrew. And so I think it's interesting that your hands expressed is the word praise. And even in sign language, you know, you kind of shake your hands in the air, clapping your hands, raising your hands, or all these ways. In fact, if you watch somebody get really excited when they talk sometimes, especially Italians or me, you'll see that we use our hands a lot in the way that we express. And so when we're praising, it's an interesting thing that your heart just kind of expresses things through your hands. And again, I can't help but think that in King David's case, he played musical instruments. And so praising with the hands is an expression of, you know, his heart. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. But then, you know, this idea of rightness, of seeing how right things are. And Jesus is righteous. And he's talking about when I have learned. Okay, so that word is critical in this. When it comes to fatherhood, learning, which is this lamed, it starts out with, and it's just that whole concept of that letter, actually. And this is a heart, and a lamed, if to think about it, is the only letter that goes above the line in Hebrew, and it looks like a little flame. It almost looks like a candle going above the line. And so just think about this heart that is flaming to love and flaming to learn, because it's a similar thing. And it also is the first letter of the word heart, not uncoincidentally. So you think about this heart that, you know, is fallen in love with somebody. And so sure, you want to learn everything about them on that date. You know, you're sitting there listening to their story, and that's what we're doing with God. And so he wants to learn, in this case, with this little candle that's burning, he wants to learn his righteous judgments. In other words, what's the right way to judge things? And I love the word judgments here. It's so beautiful because of the letter makeup of it. You get this sense of Jesus because it starts with a mem, which is the Savior, which is water, which is cleansing, all these things that have to do with the Messiah, which is that m sound that you hear in misfat, which is what this particular word is in Hebrew. And then you've got a vav, so this is coming down, and then we got this beautiful pei, which is literally God's mouth. And then it goes to the word, goes to the letter tav, which is goodness. Like you've heard this whole idea of, you know, God said it was good. Well, it's interesting that here we got God's mouth speaking goodness. And this speaks all so much, Romans 8:28, right? All things work together for good. So if we can truly get the Messiah's interpretation in any given situation, while we're looking for what's right, is there some goodness there? God is up to something in every single situation. And so if we can learn, if we can get his interpretation, which clearly it comes from studying the Bible, reading the Word, all that, but it also has to do with, here's this situation, God, show me what's right. Show me what's good in this. Help me find the good. Help me find you in the situation. And therein lies so much of life. So when you think about this, seventh place, this place of rest, obviously, as we think about the Sabbath and the whole concept of seven, that it's just a matter of praise. Like, God has this, and I'm going to understand how to do that so much more rightly when I have learned, right? When my heart is just burned to know him more, the way he sees goodness in situations, right? In all things that are going to work together for good for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. It all has to do with this verse. And so this place of rest comes when we really truly can see the good in everything. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this particular episode as much as I have. So thank you again for listening and for continuing to track with me in the 119th Psalm as we keep digging.